is a curriculum that was pursued over a few years, Vision of the Gita in 10 verses. And if you look at the cards below that, each verse I took 4 words from those verses, and basically we have 40 words that encapsulate the entire teaching of the Gita, 18 chapters of it. And this provides teaching material in our classes to explore vision of the Gita. They were developed by our Games for Seva group, developing tools that we can use for teaching and activities that are reflective. Now on that far corner is values to live by. If you notice, there is a great artwork, and these are 24 values from multiple chapters of the Gita. Values like arjavam, straightforwardness, dhanam, charity, ahimsa, non-injury. So these values were explored in multiple ways, through art, through discussion, through games, so that we can internalize those values and see the benefit of living a life of value. Thirdly, we have been exploring Ishvara through the chapter 10, which is the glory of Bhagwan, Vibhuti Yoga. So 10 verses, rather 20 verses were taken from chapter 10, and each beautiful concept was first explored by art. And what you see in this entire room is that artwork that reflects Bhagwan. And I will be using that repeatedly, either as a traveling exhibit or in our classes, to explore Bhagwan in such a beautiful way. The treasure that exists within the Bhagavad Gita is really infinite. Each concept you take and unfold, it's an entire teaching in itself. So it's really like the petals of a lotus. At every stage, it opens out more and reveals an inner treasure. And then you go a little deeper, there's another inner treasure. And one can just stay in that vision forever, literally. So my idea is that as a teacher, I explore the vision of the Gita in as many ways I can, through art, through discussions, through teaching, through chanting, through drama, and hopefully a student would go away 10 years from now and not forget that they could dip into the Gita to make their own life. So what we have here today is really a very special exhibit called Vision of the Gita. There are 6 teams presenting six poster boards, where each poster board is part of the Make Your Life series. And the idea is each team is presented one obstacle and in their life, and they have to apply Gita principles, values, and Ishvara in terms of concepts and meditations to transcend that obstacle to achieve their goal in life. And each poster board is quite unique. Now what you see in front of me, right on my side, is actually the art exhibit, which is entirely from chapter 10 of the Gita. 20 verses have been unfolded by concept and word in terms of what it could possibly mean. For instance, if you look at Bhagwan in chapter 10 talks about what all he represents. And one concept, say, that he represents, he says, I am the master of the sense organs. And here you see an artistic, a representation of a yoga pose, which represents mastery of the body and mind to be able to hold that pose in a certain fashion. So my students actually developed the art, and we have professionally designed it so that it can be used to show the glory of chapter 10 of the Gita. There are many such concepts that were explored. One is, I am the Vishnu among the Adityas. Bhagwan is talking about all the things that make up his glory. And the whole idea of working on this art exhibit is for my students to really reflect as to why these traits, concepts are so full of glory. And just to reflect on Bhagwan in this very focused fashion is almost as if Bhagwan designed chapter 10 of the Gita for just. Is in the art exhibit that you saw, not the poster boards that the kids presented, but the art exhibit, is basically there are 75 pieces
that were developed over last summer and then, made to look pretty, professional, which are all words from chapter 10 of the Bhagavad Gita. The chapter itself is Vibhuti Yoga, meaning glories of Bhagwan. And I wanted to just share, and this is a teaching we're only going to start in the fall. Usually I'm 2 years, I'll plan 2 years ahead. So I planned for fall of 2019 and 2018. And having these wonderful cards make excellent, excellent reflective tools. So the one that I'm going to talk about today is, Bhagwan says, chapter 10, verse 35, on I am spring among the seasons. So I thought I'd comment on why Bhagwan says he's spring among the seasons. Spring represents a new beginning, a time for renewal, maybe recuperation, or re-energizing. Maybe it's time to clear the heart and mind of anger and regrets. It is a marking point, and nature provides us with the total spirit around us. There's greenery around us, new plants are coming. I know many of you had got plants from the plant sale, and just, the air is different. And it's a period for growth and blossoms. So in this digital era of really no seasons, because everything is temperature controlled for us, our car, our homes, wherever we go, our connection with nature is kind of depleted. And then with the electricity, we don't really transition from day to night with the sun. We sleep whenever we sleep. So spring is a time to reflect on transitions and how we can ride on the power of Mother Nature herself. And what else does spring represent? It represents love and empathy, to be able to walk in someone else's path. So nature comes back, with so much forgiveness after, say, a harsh winter. And with so much forgiveness and love, nature comes back. She moves on with whatever is handed her, no looking back. Just as nature knows that a plant is not a solitary creature, fending for itself, but instead dependent on the entire universe to survive, we too need each other. And spring is a time to refocus on that principle of how we need each other. Did you know that in a forest, when a tree is dying, the other trees protect each other? Did you guys know that in science? No, the whole ecosystem. But it's true. So what happens is when a tree is dying, the other trees know this through this communication system that goes through this fungus that is all over the soil. And it's, certain chemicals are sent like a SOS. Then the other trees cut down what they're consuming so that the tree that is suffering gets more nutrition so it can survive better. This is science. Think about it, that there is this empathetic system in place to see what is going on. So my little topic for the spring that's around us, can we see who around us, needs something that we have in abundance? Instead of hiding in our small cohorts, all of us, and do we blind ourselves to our own power to make a difference? Sometimes it's easy to think of people far away who are less fortunate, but what about something that's really close by? I came across a fantastic quote by John Steinbeck. It was, I don't know the context, but it was just beautiful. He says, it means very little to know that 1 million Chinese are starving unless you know one Chinese who is starving. Isn't that, for those of us who grew up in India, I remember seeing poverty every day, right? We all did. We may have blinded ourselves. So we have to remind ourselves. So spring is a time to bring our awareness to focus on the light. A blade of grass knows automatically that it has to grow towards the sun. I looked at my driveway the other day. We have pavers, If anyone who's put pavers, after a few years, the grass struggles to come between the two pavers, And we want to just kill it, of course. But that's not, my pavers have plenty of grass all over them now. But the principle is the grass is not giving up. It finds any nook and cranny to break through to go towards the sun. So in that spirit, I want all of us, and I definitely want to do it this summer, from the spring to summer, to rededicate myself, to remind myself that this human birth is very precious and that every moment counts, to move and grow to the light, to keep life simple, forgive dramas, so that we can use our precious neurons for purposes of joy and sunshine. Now the vision of the Gita was unveiled to me, continues to be unveiled to me through my teacher, Pujya Swami Dayananda Saraswati. And for that there can be no special words, just a life lived in that vision in the spirit of gratitude. And somehow today was a great reality that happened with the Vision of the Gita exhibit. It has probably been 4 years in the works. The material that you saw today has been in development for 4 full years. So things happen for all of us. Thank you. If you look at the values cards, 4 years ago, Isha Sharma started work on those pieces of art, one artwork at a time. And all the kids, the Vedic kids, the Games for Seva, we've all come together as a team today. So that's very, very thrilling, really. So this is what it means. We do the hard work of never giving up, keep moving, and walking the talk. So I really, 25 years of YICG, I thank you all for your trust and kindness over the last 25 years. I see many old-timers here who, I keep sending, come to my Gita Vichara, but people do show up, today I'm really happy. Each of you has a special place in my heart. We have another 25 years in us now, I feel we do. So let's keep just doing that. Be like that blade of grass that doesn't give up. So with that, I want to invite our esteemed graduates, Ishan Tavakaran, Stephanie Benedictus, and Sanjay Verma.